So far, what's the most striking thing or surprising thing that you ever experienced
off the rink or on the rink?
No, in France.
Like just off the rink?
Or maybe, yeah, why not? On the rink also.
On the rink. All right, so I'll say we'll go with on the rink first.
Okay.
On the rink, I will say I've always watched this league on YouTube. So for me, like, you know, sometimes videos are a little bit slower online.
Yeah.
So I
you
think
don't get the same feeling of
like the speed.
Yeah, no, it's horrible.
I think the biggest shock to me, like I said, was like I'll even admit this, like I kind of underestimated the game here a little bit.
Really?
Oh, for sure. And I think when the first practice, like the first real practice, the drill, like I was like we don't do drills in America. Like we do our own skill sessions, like we work out on our own. But in terms of teams, we only have like if we go to a tournament, we might only have like one practice to kind of get everything together. So we're not. Good question. Yeah. So on the rink, biggest shock. I think I was telling you, but like watching the games online, like you don't really see like how quick it is online.
Yeah.
And so when like I said, I underestimated not my team, but I think some other teams and other players on other teams, and I definitely, my biggest lesson I learned on the rink is don't underestimate any of your opponents, whether you're playing guys that have just came up from the N1, whether you're playing the League Elite champs or the Coupe de France champions. You got to treat everybody the same, and you got to look at one game at a time. So on the rink, I think the game, like I said, the biggest shock has definitely been just the way how quick the game is played here, kind of like an ice hockey style. But off the rink, the biggest shock for me has probably been like even for me, I'm very at home. I don't go out a lot. Like I'm not really that kind of kid to go party a lot and go out and kind of see it. Yeah, I'm very I'm very reserved. Believe it or not. Yeah. I know it's kind of tough to believe, but so I think how much I've kind of embraced the culture of just going out and hanging out with my teammates and kind of really enjoying myself off the rink as much as I am on the rink. I think that's been the biggest shock. Like I didn't realize how close we were going to become so quickly. I've heard stories from other teams that the imports are a little bit more separated from the French. But the one thing I told myself coming to Cologne, and the one thing that a lot of us imports agreed on was we want to learn the culture, we want to embrace it, we want to hang out with the French guys as much as any of the other guys, So I think the biggest shock, I would say, is how much I've kind of put myself out there off the rink. I don't think I do that at home in America enough, and it's definitely something I'm going to take home with me. Is kind of be more willing to do things that I might not at first be willing to do, but it's all in good fun. Everybody's super nice. Everybody's super inclusive. We always want to make sure everyone's included. And like I said, I think when we're talking about Colin and why I think this year is going to be different in terms of years in the past, I think it's going to be because of how close we are as a team. Even Guada took us out.
A lot.
Yeah, for sure. Guada took us out to a buffet a couple weeks ago after we beat Bourges, and it was interesting to see like the different foods. He made us try some cheeses. Cameron escargot for the first time. I haven't had it yet. I'm visiting Cooper Haar and Nathan Sigmund in a couple weeks to see Paris. So I'm really excited to not only spend time with some other Americans on other teams, but I think just to see Paris and kind of embrace like why we're here. Like we're obviously here to play hockey and help the team and build some success on and off the rink. But I also think
to enjoy the whole
and the fans here are super awesome, man. Like we don't really have that in America. So I think off the rink too, just like talking to people, like realizing like, oh, you play for Con, and it's pretty cool to like speak to people, and the community's kind of like sold in on the team. We have great, the bureau, as we call it, the board. They're very invested in us. Our fans are very invested in us, and I think off the rink, it's been, for me, the shock has been putting myself out of my comfort zone, doing things I probably wouldn't do with my friends at home, or doing things I probably wouldn't do in my life in general. But I think, like I said to you before, being comfortable with being uncomfortable is definitely a part of growing as a person. But like I said, I think just how awesome the people are here is super important, and like that to me, you know, you've heard about perception on people, not only just in other countries, but everybody here is super, super nice. Everyone here is super welcoming. So for me, it definitely made the transition a lot easier, for sure. So that's why off the rink, I think, honestly, I'll tell you the truth, I told people before I came to Colin, I think I told them, I said, hockey's going to be the easy part, and adjusting to life off the rink is going to be the hard part. But after being here for 6 to 7 weeks now, I think the biggest thing I'm going to say is it's reversed. I think the off the rink stuff was a lot easier to adjust to, and I think honestly the hockey was probably the hardest thing to adjust to. So people here have been amazing. People here have been so excellent. We're super grateful to have our fans, have our community back us.
How do you feel about the language barrier and stuff like that?
The language barrier. So that is the one thing I'll definitely say.
English.
Yeah. Me personally did not learn enough French before coming here, so the language barrier is tough. But I think, like I said, when you're here in a foreign country for the first time, it's definitely something you can kind of laugh about and look back on and be like, oh, is that like, you know, usually in America, like, it's such a melting pot, so you have all these different cultures, you have all these different types of people from different countries, and I think here, like we're those people that don't understand the language, are trying to still learn the culture, and I think it's cool to be in a different position for once in my life. It definitely has helped me grow as a person, for sure. I think that's the biggest thing. Hockey on and off the rink has helped me grow as a person. Whether like in the apartment, my room, like I'll tell you a funny story, because like I said, Loic is having a phenomenal season. 4 goals in 3 games. He's playing great hockey, but I'll tell you what, when I first moved into the apartment, there were some things I didn't know, like boiling water, doing my own laundry. That was new to me. So
really?
Yeah, and I got grilled for it pretty hard, but it's like I said, it's you know, it's all funny, it's all jokes, you know, at the end of the day. But you know, putting myself in in an uncomfortable situation, like doing my own things for the first time, you know, like transportation wise, I try and walk as much as possible.
Okay.
I don't have that luxury at home. I live in a suburban area, so a lot of it is car all the time. So and we live on water too, and at home I live on an island. So it's a lot of, you know, like water, boats, and, you know, the beach. Like Colin has beautiful beaches, but I've really tried to embrace like walking to like the city center, walking to the supermarket, walking to go get some groceries. Like just anytime I could walk somewhere, I really try and do it, because I know, you know, in a short time, whatever that is, I'm not really going to have that opportunity again. And if Loic sees this, he is the best. Like, he has been doing so much for us Americans, and not even just in the Americans, but a Louis Marchot is another young and up and coming French player.
Wow.
Phenomenal. Like, he in a couple of years, I tell people he's going to be on the national team. I believe that. He's phenomenal.
That's my guess also.
But
the level of confidence.
And that kid it's incredible.
Wow.
And I think the coolest thing is even last night, I think you were at practice last night for a little bit, right? So I was fortunate to play on his team last night, and me and Cameron are still, as much as we've been here, it's still, you know, we're still learning the little things on how to play D, how to play their system, and I think it's so cool for someone that is his age, has that much confidence, that can kind of tell, like me, an older guy who's seen professional hockey a little bit longer than him, he's been kind of giving me tips. And I think that's like super cool, because I think everybody can learn something from someone, whether you're, you know, the best player on the team, or whether you're a national team player, or whether you played, you know, Tours Pro, State Wars Pro. I think we can all learn something from each other. And the biggest thing I've taken away from him is how confident he is. And he's another one of my roommates. And I really enjoy spending my time with him. He's a great kid, and like I said, he's gonna play this game for many, many years. many years.
Yeah, Alois is something, you know.
He's phenomenal. Playing with Enzo too, I think he's starting to really find his footing. He has that person where he can kind of give the puck to, he can get it back. He's very confident in leading the rush. And I think the first week we were all a little bit timid playing Villeneuve. That was a tough first game. And it was tough for even us imports to kind of that be our first game. But I think once he played in Bourges and had his first goal, I think you can really see the confidence level take off. And even Luik too, and a lot of those other guys like Sablo and Guada, even Mika, and you know, just everybody on the team. I think the first week, you know, it was a tough matchup. And it was kind of unfortunate that we had to play such a good team right off the bat. But I also think that taught us a lot about ourselves, and I think, you know, it was, in my mind, it was a 3-1 game. It was a PP goal, a power play goal that we gave up. In my mind, it was a 3-1 game, and I think to play the defending champs of the Coupe de France and only held them 3-1 to a completely new team in Caen, I kind of knew, like, once that game was over, I said, we have a really, really good group here, and once we play more together and kind of gain chemistry with each other, I think, I really think this club is going to shock a lot of people this year. I really believe that. For sure. So why did you come here? Let me ask you a question. Why did you come to Caen?
I just wanted to create good content, and good content means good players, you know. So that was the first reason for moving. Okay.
Love that. Love that answer. That's a great answer.
Okay. So then another thing that added to the list was the rink. The rink is like big. It's very clean.
Very clean.
Yeah.
The staff does a great job maintaining our rink.
Okay. I didn't want to get into a season in a small rink. Okay. So that was a reason also. And then I'm gonna tell you something.
Okay.
So I really like Americans and the American culture. Okay. So when I saw, because I didn't know that before, like a few months ago, I think that the roster wasn't even made. Okay, but seeing a lot of Americans in the same team was a big thing.
Oh, really? I appreciate that, man. That makes me feel. That makes me feel good too, hearing that, because I think. I mean, let's just get the elephant out of the room. Like, I think there's a predetermined, like, you know, perception between, like, how Americans look at French people and how French people look at Americans. Okay. But I think, for me, I think, and you too, I think it's really important to kind of put what other people think aside and kind of see, like, for you, like how people treat you, because, you know, it's different for everybody, but I think the relationship that Americans in Caen have with the locals, and how the locals treat us Americans, like I can't believe that people would even say some things about. Like I said, I've had really good teammates to kind of help me develop my game and kind of help me, like, understand that, you know, you could be one of the best players for your age in America, but when you come here, you really have to adjust to their game, and the biggest thing I've learned is respect the game, no matter who you play, no matter what system you're playing in.
Respect the game.
Respect the game.
What do you mean exactly by
like
that?
You can't look down on anybody, like you know, like I said, like, you know, whether we're playing a team that's not so strong versus playing a team that is strong, you have to treat everybody the same.
Yeah, because that's the elite level.
Right.
If they got there, it's for a reason.
For a reason, for sure. Anybody can beat.
It's like a big filter.
For sure, anybody can beat anybody on any given Saturday. That's the vibe I've gotten here. Yeah. Anybody can beat anybody in this league, and so and it's like I said, obviously you have your Rattels and your Villeneuves that have kind of dominated the finals the last 4 to 5 years. But I told our owner Fabrice, I told him that. You know, you might not see my contributions on the rink as much, but what you will see at the end of the season is us being a top 4 team in the Coupe de France. You will see us make the semifinals of the League Elite. And I really believe that there's going to be a lot of players on our team that get an opportunity to play on the national team within the next couple of years just because of how much success that we are going to have this year. And I really believe that. Like if right off the jump, I know Enzo is a French team alumni and he's represented Team France for a while. But I'll tell you right now, the two guys that I think about immediately, besides Guada too, because he's also represented Team France, is Sebastian Duchmin and Quentin Sablo. Those two guys are going to represent France in the next 2 years. I truly believe that. Like, I'm a firm believer in that. Like, those two are not only incredible hockey players on the rink, but just how Quentin has been our captain, just the way he leads by example, and how he can kind of help everybody out, whether I'm having a good practice or a bad practice. He treats me the same. Sebastian, off the rink, like on the rink also, he's been great, but off the rink, I think I've developed a great relationship with Seb. He's taken us imports kind of under his wing a little bit, and even Loic too. Like, I live with him, but you know, we have a lot of guys on the team that have really embraced the Americans, and I really believe that that's going to make a huge difference for this club. And I think that's one of the reasons, and not only one of the reasons, but I think when you talk about success, like culture, I think the culture this year is going to be built to a certain standard where it's going to be really hard for us not to do well. I really think we're going to do very well.
If you see the best teams actually in the French scene are nourished by foreigners. You know, so
yeah, for sure. I mean, I think everybody. I mean, the one guy that I think everyone has kind of looked at the last couple of years is Frankie Jirac. How good he is. But I'll tell you right now, like, Frankie Jirac is like one of my best buds at home. I've been playing with him and against him since I was 9-10 years old. And I'm going to be 24. He's going to be 23. So I've known him for about 13-14 years now. And you know, he kind of inspired me to come here. Honestly, Eric Wakefield, who played in Valence last year, Chris Caldwell, who played here in the past, Chris Marcello, Bryce Hamilton, like just so many guys, like John Schiavo, DiMartino. But John Schiavo was actually my coach when I was younger.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't tell many people that, but he is a phenomenal hockey player, and happy that Epernay was able to have him for a couple of games and kind of really see why he is as highly regarded as he is. But, you know, at the same time, I think it's important for us as a team to realize, and I think why we're going to do well this year is, you know, certain teams you kind of have a pre-expectation, like Rethel, Villeneuve, and, you know, they've built a great respect in the league. They've done very, very well. If Rethel doesn't win, Villeneuve wins. If Villeneuve doesn't win, Rethel wins. But I think the biggest thing that we all have to work on, including myself, is, like I said, treat everybody the same. You know what I mean? Just because they are who they are, just because they are the defending Coupe de France champs, just because they're the defending Ligue Elite champs, like I said it, like anybody can beat anybody on any given Saturday in this league. And I think once we really embrace that mindset, I truly believe that we are going to have a very, very, very successful season. I really believe that. No, and I think it's a great point. I'll be honest. I think because we have a lot of respect for our leadership here, like I said, like we have a great captain, we have great assistant captains. I think us newer guys are more willing to learn their game than kind of inject our own game into it, because like I said, like we're playing the European game, and as much as you want to put your own flair on certain things and you want to play a certain way, you got to respect the system. You have to respect what we're building here, and sometimes that means changing your game to help other people. But I'll tell you right now, I mean, like I said, you've been to so many practices, like you could see the competitive level in practice really
it's
be
just awesome.
I think,
and that's I'm very glad that I came here, because I really wanted to see hockey at that level. You know, I grew up seeing the Narch videos on YouTube, and that was very exciting. You know, but actually seeing an elite game.
Shout out Darren and downtown George Brown.
It's another kind of experience.